Hey, so we got to rip up carpet so that we can lay down laminate. And a lot of you don't know this, but there's carpet tack and the carpet pad. You got to take the carpet up in pieces and roll it out, keep it out the street, and they'll take it. But you have to watch out for sharks when you're taking up carpet. Ah, there's one right there. Look at that. They're actually technically shark robots. Oof. Yeah, you gotta definitely watch out for that stuff. So I don't know if you guys have ever done anything stupid, but I did this morning again. I thought I knew where I was going. One strike, one kill, Mr. Miyagi. I thought I knew where I was going. Didn't even look at my maps or anything. I was like, yeah, no, I know how to get there. And we were pulling up in the driveway. I'm like, this is the wrong house in the wrong city. I'm gonna be late. And so I was talking to Brooke about it, and I'm like, well, looks like I'm a failure now. And she goes, well, no, because when you found your mistake, then you fixed it and you went to the right house. I was like, oh, other people don't do that? She goes, no. I'm like, well, but I mean, they fix it eventually, right? Like, they don't just mess up and they're like, well, I guess I'll just give up and F it. And she's like, no, like a lot of times they do that. I'm like, for minutes? And she's like, sometimes for years and decades. So if you're doing that, you know, just like put in the right address and go that way. All right, watch out for sharks.
Dun, dun, dun.
So, you're probably wondering what I was up to today, because that's what you guys do. And what we're doing today is we had to put in outlets through into the concrete, which is super simple. All you have to do is jackhammer, which is dust-free and doesn't hurt your back at all, and then you get conduit and you run it for your outlets. So that's what we're doing this morning. Now, I want to tell you guys, the back to school is coming up, and that doesn't apply to me, but to some of you guys it does. And I heard last night that Walmart is offering free school clothes to anybody that can outrun security. I suggest wearing a mask of some sort or something to disguise your identity. Security usually is pretty heavy set, and they usually just call the cops. So I hope that helps you out. So as a lot of you guys know, my daughter got married this last weekend, and she, I love my daughter, she's wonderful. She says to me, so what are you gonna wear for the wedding? And this was a couple months back, and I'm like, I don't know, I guess a suit. And she's kind of like on the phone, like, and I was like, a black suit, that's kind of what I got. And she's like, It's like, what would you like me to wear? And she goes, how about a gray suit? I'm like, okay, I think I might have that. She's like, maybe, like, just tell me what you want. She goes, I'll send you something from Men's Wearhouse. So I go to Men's Wearhouse, and I'm like, I want this suit. And the guy's like, okay. And he's very skilled at his job. And he walks up and he gets the jacket and he goes, we don't have pants to match. I'm like, does it really matter? Gray is great. He goes, if you're spending this much, you ought to get the right pants. And I'm all like, how much am I spending? So then he gets me another jacket that's similar. I'm like, okay, cool. He sizes me up. He's like, here, this one should fit. I'm like, it does really well. And then he's like, cool, let's get the pants and we'll measure these and custom tailor them and all this stuff. I'm like, all right, cool, man, thanks. He goes, are you gonna get a fresh shirt with that? I'm like, I think I got some shirts. He goes, get the shirt. I'm all like, oh, okay. Which one do you suggest? He's like, this one. I'm like, I'll do that one. He was a big guy. So then he goes, you gonna get a new tie with that? I'm like, no, I got some ties. So like, get the tie. I was like, okay. Which tie do you suggest? He's like, this one. I'm like, okay, cool. I guess I'll get that tie. You gonna get a new belt? It's like, I got some belts. He goes, get the belt. I was like, okay, I guess I can get the belt. So he's like, get this belt. I'm like, that looks like a good one. You gonna get some shoes? I'm like, I got some shoes. He goes, get the shoes. I'm like, okay, I guess I can get the shoes. So this happened for every article of clothing until finally he's like, that's better. You'll look good. And I'm like, thanks, man. So we go to check out. I'm like, you want how much? And he goes, get the suit. I'm like, okay. So I just paid for it. And that was that. So sometimes you got to do that. Sometimes you just got to have somebody that's like, hey, you have no fashion sense. Let me help you out. And I'm like, I like it when people let me do my job, and they take my advice. So I took his advice, and he was very stern. Get the suit. Okay, we're gonna go get some lunch. You might be asking yourself, did John just go swimming? Did he take a shower? Did he bathe in his own sweat? It's the last one. So we had to get some wiring done up in the attic. Of course, I have an electrician come work on that, but it was way down in the crook, and you had to crawl down and get down. it was pretty much miserable. And then my electrician wired it while it was hot, so that wasn't fun either. And I don't mean temperature hot, I mean like the wire was hot too. So that made it more dangerous. Then I had to bring a bunch of insulation. I did that, not my electrician. All the way to the far end of the house, down to the thing. And my flashlight stopped working. It was dark and it was miserable. So my advice to you is, if it's Texas, it's July, almost August, late afternoon, and you're thinking to yourself, should I get up in the attic for an hour straight? Yeah, I mean, I do it. So, you know, people a lot of times will accuse me of burning the candle at both ends. But I stopped doing that a long time ago because I kept hearing everybody's advice like, hey, John, you're burning the candle at both ends, whatever. And I'm like, I won't do it anymore if that makes you happy. So now I just take the whole candle and throw it in the fire. I'm like, let's just get that over with. All right, so long debt relief calling now. I mean, they just never stop. This is underneath the floor. I don't understand. This isn't right. You know some other things that aren't right? I have never, one time, seen Metallica on Sesame Street. Master of Puppets? Prove it. I mean, James Hetfield, here's my challenge to you. Seriously, I know we're tight because I made the cover song with the one sneeze. But anyway, so me and Mike were talking earlier yesterday, and I was telling him about somebody that I worked with, and she took great pleasure in giving me great misery. I won't go into any details because I know who this person is. But at one point, the person that hired both of us was like, that person's pretty mean to you, huh? And I was like, yeah, but you know, she's had some tragedy in her life, and you know, like, I don't know what she's going through, and so I don't want to be mean. I just try to be understanding and whatever. And he goes, John, you see that guy over there? And I've worked with him for years. And I'm like, yeah. And he goes, that guy lost all of his brothers this year. All of them are dead this year in different wars, car accident, everything. I'm like, seriously? And he goes, yeah. Did you know that? I'm like, no, I didn't know that. He goes, that's because he doesn't make it a thing. Just because bad things have happened to you doesn't mean you get to be mean to people. And I was like, you make a good point. Which kind of reminds me of what happened last night. I go to the grocery store, I check out, I don't buy a lot of groceries, right? But I got peanut butter, and I got milk, and I got some pickles, so I got pickle juice. And the cashier goes, oh, you're single, huh? I was like, yeah, how could you tell? She goes, because you're freaking ugly. I was like, it's not nice. Not a nice thing to say something. It really gives me a complex. All right, well, we're going to go do our part to solve world hunger by eating lunch. Okay, bye. Whoa, this is... On the next... I am so sorry I'm distracted. Welcome to yet another episode of Hoarders. And this is just a perfect opportunity. Come on closer. Come on over here. There's a lot of room to get around in here. I feel overwhelmed. I feel like anxious and just overwhelmed. And I can't. It's too much. I can't handle it. Okay, because like this is. There's just so much to do, and you know, at some point in my life, somebody told me, the more that you own, the more it owns you, and I really feel like that's true. I feel like we should maybe get rid of some of this stuff. What do you think, Mike? No? Yeah. Keep it. Okay, well, at least can we organize it and clean it up, because please, it just makes me anxious in my heart. Like, I don't understand how people live in a situation like this. It's just too cluttered. It's too crowded. I feel like, no, I don't like this. I don't like this at all. I want open space. I'm minimalist all the way. So what we're going to do is take all this stuff. We are going to clean up. I don't care what you say. I'm the boss. And then let's go this way. Let's see what's going to happen. Ah! Look at this. Oh, I can breathe. This is so much better. But it's not my house. So we're going to take all that stuff and put it back in this room, because we just laid this beautiful floor. Mike did all the hard work. I did all the talking and the jibber jabber. People are always like, how do you get anything done with as many videos as you make? No, I'm pretty lazy. Anything you want to talk about, Mike? Literally any topic.
I'm ready to move some furniture.
Ready to move some furniture, he says. That's fair. I'll allow it. All right, well, enjoy your Friday. Don't do anything stupid. Just kidding. Oh, hey guys. Oh, yeah, this is a very big, nice, ornate bed, but it's for very short people. They're almost Smurf-like. They're not blue, they're real people, but what you guys doing down there? They don't want to talk right now. I understand. It's it can be intimidating, but yeah, big bad, little people. Real story. So you guys are probably wondering what we did today. The answer is, as usual, not that much. We did do all this flooring though. Now it's not all the flooring in the house. We're doing the whole house in flooring, but we did all this laminate, and so that has been quite time consuming because we had to move furniture. I think we showed you that. The shortest bed in the world for the very short people. They have gone down under the walls now, and that's pretty amazing. So what we want to talk to you about, because me and Mike both have been talking about it all day, is that oftentimes, and this is unpopular opinion, oftentimes, brace yourself, our salvation comes through our suffering. And I know you're like, ain't nobody should have to suffer. Everybody should just have like smiling roses all the time or whatever. Incorrect. Oftentimes, I've talked to thousands of people that were like, I was about to kill myself. I went to prison. I got cancer. I almost died. I got in a car wreck. You name it. And before that, they were like, I was out of control. I was on my way to destruction. And that is what changed my life. And that is when I got saved. And that's when I turned my life around. And if this has not happened to you yet, I don't want to say I hope that it does. But I hope that you find your peace, right? I hope you find your salvation. So that sounds really rotten to say, right? But I was talking to a friend of mine recently. She was going through a hard time, and I said that to her, and she goes, you're right. You know, you're right. Because I didn't want to be a drug addict that overdosed and died and went to hell. I mean, that would not have been my first choice. But to be honest with you, had that not happened, the rest of my life would not have happened. And I would have been going down a bad road that probably would have ended in me being dead or in jail. I mean, that's just all there is to it. And instead, I got a whole second chance at life, and I am so very grateful. And as dumb as it sounds to be like, I'm grateful for my pain, I'm grateful for my pain. And if we're being honest, if we look back on our life, right, if we look back in hindsight and we go, these bad things happened, but then you say, well, if we're being honest, if this bad thing hadn't happened, then this wouldn't have happened, this wouldn't have happened, and this good thing wouldn't have happened, and this is worth all the pain that I went through, right? So I hope that gives you some encouragement, because that's why I mean that. I hope you have a wonderful Friday night. You do fun things, and maybe you're like, I just want to hang out with John. We'll do it. I'm going to go home, take a shower, and go to bed anyway. So I'll see you guys in the morning. Bye-bye. Maybe you're working, going along about your day like, we are going to get all this floor done today. And then what happens? Sweep, 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 bang, 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 scrape, 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 lights go out. One of these things is out of place. Sweep, 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 bang, 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 scrape, 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 lights go out. It's that one. It's the lights go out. So, anyway, our customer's power went out, and now we've got to go do another job. And, you know, sometimes you maybe miss an important detail in life, like, hey, did you talk to the power company? And sometimes, maybe in life, you miss other important details, like, hey, did you get your life right with God before it was time for your number was up? That's important. All right, so this customer told me a joke, and I thought it was pretty creative. So I'm going to tell you this joke. Put on your thinking caps. Imagine this: a mother rat with her baby rats. I know some of you are disgusted by that, but it doesn't matter. They're all God's creatures. This mother rat's there protecting her baby rats when all of a sudden she looks over and there's a tomcat like skulking up, right? And he's ready to pounce, and all of a sudden the mother rat turns to the cat while protecting her kids and goes, and then the cat's like, ah, and runs away. And the mother rat looks to her children. She says, see, kids, it's always beneficial to learn another language. I think that's a pretty good lesson in life. So once I heard that joke, I'm like, I want to learn another language too. So let me practice on you guys. S-O-C-K-S. I just spell socks. I don't know another language. I'm really lazy. All I'm saying is, I feel like this is a wasted opportunity for Viagara. You could use this as your sound effect for your pill. Okay, so as you can clearly see, we put in all this floor for caulking and stuff, which is great. We still have some touch-ups to do, but if you remember, that was a window. There was a pony wall here. Get rid of that stuff. Here, come on. We still need to put thresholds in, so don't hate. washer dryer back in. We did all this floor. We did all this floor. Amazing, right? I mean, really it is. Oh, the closet, you want to see the closet? Yeah. Look at that, you put it all the way in the closet. How beautiful is that? Now, Mike, where do bad rainbows go?
I have no idea.
Prism. It's a light sentence. Right, the end. And then, we still haven't grabbed them here, but we'll just go ahead and show you. There we go. More, just everywhere. Look at all this. It's crazy car. And then on it. So we still need to ground all this. We're gonna put in a new vanity. We're gonna put the toilet back in. We're gonna put up a shower door. And grab over here. This was, remember, a bathtub? And then we put in this shower, and then this was a shower, and then we're building this closet. So that's gonna be so beautiful. So beautiful. All right, so one last question before we go, and that is, if you get in a car wreck, but then you get it fixed, is that a auto body experience?